Donald Trump Thursday got a tour of where he'll be inaugurated. That's the view from the House Speaker Paul Ryan's balcony. Ryan's been critical of Trump throughout the election, but on Thursday, they sat down and announced agreement on key legislative issues. Trump also got a tour of his new office. The president welcomed Trump, Vice President-elect Pence, and their top aides to the White House. Trump sat down with President Obama for more than an hour and spoke to reporters after.
Well, thank you very much, President Obama. This was a meeting that was going to last for maybe 10 or 15 minutes, and we were just going to get to know each other. We had never met each other. I have great respect. The meeting lasted for almost an hour and a half, and it could have, as far as I'm concerned, it could have gone on for a lot longer. We really, we discussed a lot of different situations, some wonderful and some difficulties. I very much look forward to dealing with the president in the future, including counsel. He explained some of the difficulties, some of the high-flying assets, and some of the really great things that have been achieved. So, Mr. President, it was a great honor being with you, and I look forward to being with you many, many more times in the future. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everybody. We are not going to be taking any questions. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Here's a good rule. Don't answer the questions when they just start.
It's always the last one.
Come on, guys. Yeah, come on, guys. Let's go.
Very good man.
Ed O'Keefe is a reporter with the Washington Post. He's with us from Washington. A little bit of interesting media management advice there by President Obama at the end, saying don't answer the questions. All right, let me just ask you, we just watched the first public appearance between President Obama and President-elect Donald Trump. What did you make of it?
I mean, it's the first time they'd ever met, Elaine.
Yeah.
Consider how the last 8 years have gone and how often these two have been in each other's crosshairs. And to think that they had never sat face-to-face, shaking hands or anything. They'd been in the same room together. Trump was a guest of ours at the Post years ago when the president was poking fun at him. What many people now say was the moment when Trump really decided he wanted to do this. But they had never met before. And, I think it's an image the world never anticipated. Republicans will tell you they never anticipated this day, but it has come. And to their credit, at least publicly, they were cordial, they were respectful, and they demonstrated that the transfer of power can happen peacefully. I'm more curious to see, frankly, Elaine, how the next few days and weeks go. If these two teams really will work together, if Trump is able to even assemble a team that can take on the awesome responsibilities, and to what extent will they be talking and coordinating with the White House? It looks like the White House is ready to do it. Question is whether Team Trump has been built and is ready to do it.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how all of that plays out. Let me ask you this. Donald Trump also huddled with House Speaker Paul Ryan, and Trump mentioned his agreement with Ryan that health care and immigration are top legislative priorities. I'm wondering, though, what gaps are there still between the two men on policy priorities?
Well, there are going to be several. It's going to get into the details, and it's going to be the kind of stuff that split hairs in this town for so long, and that is essentially which Republicans are for which parts of the proposals. Primarily, how do you pay for them and how strict are they? When it comes to immigration, Paul Ryan wants to do comprehensive immigration reform, or at least he used to. He understands the need to do it, the demographic realities of the country, the economic realities of the country. Donald Trump wants to also, but remember, he has a much more law and order focus when it comes to this. Ryan, I think, and Republicans on the Hill, some of them at least, see the need to work on things like how many guest worker visas should there be? Do we keep high-skilled labor here in this country? Do we do something about how many members of a family could come in? Or do we just focus on building a wall and detaining and then removing undocumented immigrants in this country? That's going to lead to, I'm sure, weeks, maybe months of difficult negotiations within the Republican Party, say nothing of the Democrats, but they may not even need Democrats to get some of this done.
Yeah, and I'm sure the expectations will be high among some supporters to see there's some action on the issue of immigration. Let me ask you, Donald Trump said in his victory speech that he would prioritize new infrastructure spending, something that we know Speaker Ryan opposes, and actually some fiscal conservatives really aren't crazy about the idea of spending more money at this time. On Thursday, though, Trump did not mention that as a priority after meeting with Speaker Ryan. So what did you think about that?
I mean, it could be an oversight, or it could be that they've agreed not to do it. The reason Ryan and many Republicans on the Hill have an issue with it is the issue of how to pay for it. One of the only ways really to do it is by possibly either keeping taxes where they are or creating some new taxes, and that could be a real issue, obviously, when you want to tackle comprehensive tax reform overall and ease the tax burden. So we'll see. Democrats certainly want to do it. They seized on that. They have already today especially been highlighting the fact that Trump wants to do this, and there will be eagerness among them to work with him on it. But I suspect that he will face resistance from Ryan and McConnell, certainly on the details, if not on the whole idea of doing it at all.
So that's the next Congress, but let's also discuss the current one. The fact that the White House will soon be in Republican hands, how does that change the GOP's priorities in this lame duck session, which starts next week?
You see my hands, Elaine? This is what they're going to do with them. They're going to sit on them, and they're not going to do anything, essentially, except pass a short-term spending bill, which they're going to have to do. And the question is, for how long will the government remain open? Will they do it for 6 months to give Donald Trump some breathing room once he gets to the White House? Will they only do it for a few weeks so that they have to do it again under a Republican Congress by late January? We'll see. You know, this means no Supreme Court nominee will be confirmed before President Obama leaves office. There may be some other smaller issues that have to get sorted out, but basically, Republicans are going to bide their time, make preparations for next year, and not do much of any real consequence between now and the end of the year.
All right. Fascinating dynamics today there. Ed O'Keefe, thank you so much.
Take care.